That is one thing I have to say about you. Like, I could never tell because your energy and your vibe
Never.
was always like, smiling and happy and just kind of like joyful,
Yeah.
not
Yep.
knowing like there's a whole nother like survival mode happening in the back end of this.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And my God, brother, you have definitely gone through hell and beyond, my friend. Like just coming from Sierra Leone to refugeeing, and like it's crazy, man. I can't even imagine. And our kids think they have it. The internet's not working. Oh my God. Oh, kida. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Think RBA podcast. We are here with my brothers, my boy Chico
Hey,
Suave, hey yo,
Yeah.
and my other brother Tijani Musa. Sir, appreciate you joining us tonight. Pleasure having you. We appreciate you giving us your time, and just quickly want to introduce yourself to our audience. Tijani Musa he is actually somebody we met, another member we met on the course of 4 Mile. Right? He's one of the 4 Mile crew. He's one of the core crew from that epic time a few years ago when we were running the streets running the streets of 4 Mile on the courts, not just roaming in the streets with the big riffraffs, but on the courts hooping. So, sir, thank you again for joining us.
Man, it's a pleasure, man. I appreciate the honor, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of this and to get the opportunity to meet your audience. And they've been with you for the past nearly 10 months now since you launched this thing. And the stories that you've been telling when you were referring to the randos, I'm one of the random people that they were referring to because I'm not part of the circle. So I'm one of the random guys. So it's an honor, man, to be here.
So, he started as a random. We all started as randoms, right? But then we became friends and we became brothers. So everybody starts as a random.
All right. That's fair.
He started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Now we here. There we go. Gonna put a beat behind
it. So, can I just start off with the question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of the courts in 4 Mile and meeting us, so, back in the archives, we had a couple of discussions about our time at 4 Mile, and specifically when people would meet us and they'd see this big white guy and this Indian cat and like didn't know what to make of us, thought we would be light work. So I wanted to ask you, do you remember or recall the first time that you came out the ball with us and you saw us warming up? Like, what did you think?
What was the initial like?
Come on, man. You trying to set me up. I mean, you know what they say. Don't ask if you don't want to know the answer.
Oh no, we can handle it. We RBA, man. Come on now.
That's right. No, yeah. My initial reaction is that it's similar to what Matt thought of when you were talking about the intro episode where Matt pulled up with his guys and he's like, we're about to cook them, and then the game starts. Hak starts shooting from the other side of the hoop, just making buckets, and then he just passes it down to Ken, and Ken is just doing his thing, and I'm like, how long have they been playing together? Like, what is this? So yeah, my initial reaction is like, okay, this is going to be easy, and then you start playing, it's different because y'all know exactly what you're doing. You got the chemistry, like you've been playing ball for like over 15 years together. So it's crazy.
Okay. So the stereotype still stands, right? That we were meant to be light work, however, not quite the case.
That's a fact. That's my story. I stick to it.
No, I love it because, like, it's funny you say that because it's kind of, every time I step on the court, and first time I saw you, I think you were with Wally, right? Because Wally,
Yeah.
like that was your inner, so you guys were a close circle with that crew.
Yep, all the way from middle school.
Yes. So I remember Wally would come out and he brought you one day. And I was like, yo, like we got a little close to the circle. Who's this guy? Like, who did Wally bring here? Like, he's not even brown. What's going on here? Right? Right? And Wally's like, no, he's cool, man. He's cool. I'm like, all right, we'll see. We'll see, right? We're going to vet you first. We start playing, and I was like, oh, this guy plays. He plays like he plays like truly like. I'm not gonna say like Pat Bev, but like you put your heart and soul into like when you play, you play.
Yeah, I don't want to lose.
Correct. Like
even if we're playing for fun.
Correct. You're competitive. Like you really made me work. And I was like, oh, I like this guy. Right? He's not like it's different to make somebody work, and it's different to like make them work where you're worried about getting injured, right? But it wasn't the case with you. So you gave that good vibe. So I was like, all right, Wally, he's cleared. He got the clearance, right? Ken and I had a little chat. He cleared to join the group.
I appreciate it, man.
No, but honestly though, when I like first time I saw you play, my first impression was like, man, this guy, like I love his intensity, and he really makes me work. Because like what happens, what I've noticed is like you said, right? Like we start playing, and then it's like, oh wait, like oh snap, they can hoop, right? What I've noticed is that when that happens, some people take that as almost like in a way where they were trying to come out and like really hurt us because they can't take it, right? Because I'm not like I don't fit that stereotype, right? Ken doesn't fit that stereotype, but with you, it was like I felt safe. I felt like all right, we're just competing back and forth. It's not a pride thing. It's not an ego thing. We're not trying to hurt each other. We got families to go back to.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of like the vibe I got. And I'm going to say this on the record. I don't know about Ken, but for me, I've played against a lot of people who are great athletic people, right? Bigger, longer, faster, whatever. But very seldom have I played against somebody who truly made me work. When I say work, like work, not like, like this is light work. He's still coming at me. It wasn't light work. I'll say that. You were not light work, my friend. Like you really made me go deep into my bag, like to the parts that I don't go to. Like you made me do that consistently though, right? I had to earn every point with you.
Wow.
And for me, like I respect that. So I absolutely commend and respect you for really bringing the best out of me. So thank you for that, sir.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. That's love right there.
Yeah. Now, I got to give respect where it's due. So my salute to you, brother.
So for me, man, I was about to say the same thing. I was like sitting here mad. You're taking all the words out of my mouth. Like, look, so I'm 6 foot. Heck, I think you're 6'1", right?
Yes.
It wasn't often that we balled against people that were significantly taller than us, right? Everybody was around the same height or smaller. And then oftentimes being in the post, I was against smaller guys. It was a lot easier to kind of bully my way around. But when I tell you, this guy Tijani, when I would match up against him, when you talk about making you work, like he did not give me anything free down in the pit. Like,
oh, nothing.
Like I would give him the business, but he would give me the business back defensively. Like it was, everything was a tough shot. And you know what it was? It was his football background. Like,
yeah. Seriously.
Bruh. No, it was because
nonsense.
It wasn't even conditioning. Like his entire core strength. Like I don't know if it's still the same for you today, Tijani, but like your entire core strength back then, like I could I could throw my body weight into dudes and they would be like ping pong balls. But like Tijani, it would be like bam. Like it's just like two big logs hitting like bam. Like what's going on?
Right.
Like because he was just like, I mean, he obviously wasn't as big, but close to the same height, but just solid muscle. Like, oh my God, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So when I knew, like I was watching how the teams would get put together, and when I saw like, fuck, I'm gonna be matched up against Tijani tonight. It's gonna be a long night. Like for real.
Yeah, man. So hey, first of all, I appreciate y'all because we've never talked about these things, even when we're together. So the fact that we're like on video and we're recording this and y'all speaking your truth is like amazing to me. So when we're in the court, for me, I know that I'm not the one who's gonna score like 10 points or 15 points. That's not my strength. but my strength is to ensure that Hak and Ken don't put 30 on us. And so whoever I'm guarding, yes, you can back into me, but maybe the first time you do it, you're not going to want to repeat that because I'm not going to back down. I don't care if you're, I don't care if you have like 20 pounds on me. I don't care. I'm a stay my grounds. You're going to back. Yeah, I'm a jump on you. I'm a push you a little bit. Like you said, my football. Yeah, I try to piss you off, those type of things. So yeah, I don't back down for anything. It's the same thing if I played against somebody who's 7 foot. I do what I can. If I have to jab you a little bit, I'll check you so that you know the next time you're coming, I'm still gonna be right here. So I appreciate the law, and I was just doing what I'm decent at, which was the defense, because I know I wasn't gonna score that many points. So I try to help my team in the best way that I can, which is bring my defense. So that's how I've been doing my game.
Yeah, man. Relentless is the one word I would say, like, is defines you as a basketball player. Relentless. So anytime I scored on you or pulled a move on you, or especially if I got you, that was like a big thing. Like, yeah, like I'm gonna be proud of this moment right here. Win or lose or not, I'm proud of this moment.
Yeah, well, you don't lose that many times, so.
I mean, we both are competitors, right? We both try to whatever we got to do.
Absolutely.
And when you and I were on the same team, my God, it was. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a free night. I don't have to guard the best guy anymore. He can guard the best guy. I'll be free.
Yeah, and I can get the rebounds and just pass it to you. You can make the threes.
There you go.
Wow, that's amazing to hear.
Yeah, man. No, I truly really enjoyed playing ball with you. It was an honor to play with somebody of your caliber. I played with a lot of guys. Like, and all of us, we play with a lot of folks who are, athletically more gifted, I would say. Who are bigger, just stronger, faster, younger than me, quicker than me.
Right.
But there's certain people I remember, and you're one of those that I remember. And for me, like that's if I remember you, like you really made a mark. Your game made a mark on me.
Wow.
And it really made me have to respect and work for everything I got that night and throughout that course. So for that, much respect to you, man.
That's dope, man.
And you take that hard work with you wherever you go, right? That same mindset.
Absolutely.
So that's RBA. That's truly RBA.
That's right. It's the same intensity applies to life. Correct. And so that's how I apply life to what I do. Is the same thing that my approach is the same. Everything that I've been able to accomplish so far is hard work, dedication, and determination, and just keep pushing. And
that's the perfect segue, right? That's the perfect segue because I want to get. And Ken, did you have anything else you wanted to talk from that?
No, let's go.
That's it. All right, let's move on to the actual question. I really want. The reason we asked you to come here on this part, the real reason.
Okay.
Because I've heard remnants of like just like bits and pieces of your story throughout the years.
Yes, sir.
I've listened to your podcast and I've caught it, but I want to hear it directly from you. Like we want to hear it, and I want to know like what's your story, because your story, man, is RBA is a light way to say it. Like I think it's beyond RBA from what I've caught, and I would love for you to share your story from wherever you want to start. You're comfortable starting to where you are today. Yeah. So the floor is yours. Ken, anything you want to add to that, or?
No, sir. No.
Okay. So Johnny, all yours, brother.
I'm about to give a masterclass.
Let's do it. All right.
So originally I was born in West Africa, Sierra Leone. Okay. And back in the 90s when I was born, things were, okay, growing up, just do my thing as a young kid. Go out to play in a park or outside of the house with my friends, family members. When my mom and my dad or my brothers are not around, the neighbors will look out for us. And I remember sharing to my wife that growing up, we get punished for the same act. You get punished twice. And so the example is that if your parents are away and you misbehave, and the neighbors are watching you, they will punish you. They have permission from your parents to punish you. And then if they want to, they can come back and tell your parents, and then your parents will actually discipline you for the same act. And so that's how life is. But life is still simple with those type of experiences. And then life changed when the civil war started in my country. The rebels came to my village and basically uprooted our family, and we had to flee the village and fight for our lives. We along the way, we see a lot of the neighbors getting killed, kids getting abducted and asked to join rebel forces. Parents were being killed in front of their kids. All of these things, it's just a horrific situation. And we were lucky to be the ones that were God saved from that, and we escaped the war, and then we sought refuge in the neighboring country. And so while we were in the neighboring country, we were fortunate to connect with one of our older brother who was already studying abroad. So he left the country when he was a very young boy, and he was studying abroad. He started in England, and then he made his way to the United States. And so during that time, we were able to connect with him, and he knew what was happening already during this horrific civil war that took about a decade. And so when we connected with him, he decided that, the best thing to do for us is to file for us as refugees to come to the United States. And so he and his wife at the time worked with that application to file for us to come to the United States. And fortunately, after going through different interviews and vetting processes and everything like that, we were approved to come to the United States 2005. And when I immigrated to the United States, I was with my two other brothers and then my mom. And we had three other brothers that were left behind. And the reason for them being left behind is because my brother who filed for us could not get them here because two of them were older. And because of the age, they were ineligible to be on the application. And the younger brother did not get in the application because my older brother who filed for us didn't know about him when he filed. Because when he left the country, he wasn't born at the time. And so when he filed the application, he didn't know about my younger brother. And so my younger brother and the two older brothers stayed in Sierra Leone. And so we came to the United States. Of course, entering the United States, I was like, okay, life is about to change as I know it. This is the promised land. This is what I heard of when I was young growing up. This is the same place that people in my village or people in my country, every winter or every summer, they will leave here and go back home and basically live luxurious life and make it seem like they are literally coming from heaven. And so when we entered the United States, I knew, okay, this is a game changer. Now I can actually go to school. I don't have to worry about what to eat when I wake up. I don't have to worry about hearing gunshots when I go to bed. I don't have to worry about my security. I don't have to worry about my family, my neighbors being killed or anything like that as a young man. And so I was very excited. I mean, both excited and also fearful, the fact that we left everything behind, everything that we knew, everybody that we knew, our friends, our neighbors, the people that survived, we left them behind. But I was excited and happy about the opportunities that were in front of me. The fact that my life, as I knew it, changed already coming to the United States. And so when we came to the United States in 2005, we stayed with the older brother who applied for us. And after about a year staying with him, things just started changing. He wasn't taking the time to understand us because he hadn't lived with us for a long time. And we also didn't live with him for a long time. And so I guess it was both sides of the stories. He's not here to defend himself. So he didn't take the time to understand us, learn us. We didn't take the time to know him. And so chaos ensued. He basically forced us out of his house. He kicked us out. And so, like I mentioned, I was with my mom. I was with two other brothers. Okay, three other brothers. My bad. It's three other brothers. So what do we do then? We were just new in the country. We didn't even know the system. We had to deal with the cultural changes and everything like that. The weather. We had the cultural shock. This is the United States. We're young. We can't really work. Those type of things. And so my two other brothers that I came with were older than me, like 2-3 years older than me. And so they basically had to become like the breadwinners of the family. They had to start working and provide for the family. And so we went and rented 2-bedroom apartments where my mom was in one room and the 4 of us were also sharing a room, me and 3 of my brothers. And so we were there for about a year and 2 years. My second older brother, who I came with, decided that it's time for him to move on. And he left us.
How old were you all when you came to?
When we immigrated to the United States, I was about 12 and 13 years old. So this was around middle school years.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when my brother left us, now we had to scramble once again. What do we do now? How do we survive? How do we ensure that this 2-bedroom apartment, we can maintain it? And things just got difficult and we could not maintain the 2-bedroom apartment. And that's when we decided that we need to act and we need to do it really fast. So we picked up the phone and called the same older brother who kicked us outside of his house. We had to call him up and rescue us once again. So we picked up the phone, called him up. We said, hey, bro, this is what's going on. We can't afford to rent this place anymore. We need your help. We want you to take back your mom. Take our mom so she can stay with you. And all of us are going to battle and try to survive. And this chaos ensued going into my senior year of high school. So about 6 months until I graduated from high school, I became homeless. My mom went with my older brother. My second older brother could not afford the rent anymore. And so me and my younger brother, Abdul, became homeless. And so now what do we do? Once again, I said, you know what? We got to RBA one more time. And so I was in high school already. Obviously, I wanted to graduate in the same high school. This is where I know all of my friends, my coaches and everything like that. I did 3 sports, soccer. I was doing track. I was doing football. And so one day I came to my coach. I said, Coach, this is the situation. We can't afford our rent anymore. We can't afford our apartment. And my brothers are basically, going their ways. And myself and my younger brother, we don't know what to do. And we don't want to go back to the brother that kicked us out. We don't want to live with him anymore. So we don't have a choice. We don't know. It's either somebody helps us or we were like actually become homeless where we would have to figure something out. And it's not like we could work. I was like, 16, 17 years old? What kind of job am I going to make to be able to afford an apartment? And my brother was younger than me by 2-3 years. So my coach is like, okay, Tijani, let me go talk to my wife and we will see what happens from there. I said, okay. And he went and talked to his wife. He came back the next day. He's like, okay. So my wife said that you can stay with us until you graduate. I said, oh, okay, this is a game changer. Look at you. You're an angel now. And my coach, but when I came to tell my coach about the story, I forgot to mention that my younger brother was with me. And when he came and told me the next day that I could stay with them, I came back and told him, I said, hey, coach, I forgot to tell you, Abdul is with me and he has no place to go. So can you also, talk to your wife and see if he can stay with me also? And he said, okay, give me some time. Let me go back and talk to her. And luckily, the wife is also an angel and she accepted us. She said, both of us can come and stay at the house. And so that's how it started. This was September. I keep thinking it's September, but this was actually in December 22nd, 2010. I remember the date because it was winter time. And I remember when we moved in, my coach actually took me to the store and bought me a pea coat. My first pea coat that I've ever owned in the United States. My coach got it for me. And so we stayed with our coach, who became my younger brother's coach also when he started doing football. And so we stayed with the coach for about give or take 6 months, because that's what I told him. I said, after graduation, we're leaving. But I didn't even know where to go after graduation. I just knew that I wanted to go to college. And I have my younger brother with me. So where am I going to go if after graduating? But that was the promise that I made to the coach. And so after graduation, I had to come back to coach. I said, hey, coach, it's graduation time. I'm about to graduate. And I know that I've given you a timeline that, after graduation, I'm going to leave the house. I had to leave. But at the time when I was in high school, I was also working at a dollar store. That's where the coach will pick me up. The dollar store, I worked there over the weekend because during the weekdays I would go to school, and then on the weekend while my friends are going to the movies or hanging out with their friends, I was working at the dollar store to try to make some money. And that's how I was able to buy some of the things that my coach wasn't providing. And I was also able to help my younger brother. So when after graduating, I came to the coach. I said, Coach, it's time for me to leave. Abdul is going to leave with me. And at the time, at the dollar store, I met a woman by the name of Maria. She is from Angola. She's also African sister. And I explained to her the situation. I said, Maria, I know you don't know me, but now we're co-workers. This is the situation. I'm living with my coach, and I'm with my younger brother. But I made a promise to my coach that after graduation, we are going to leave, but I don't know where to go. So is there anything that you can do to help us? And of course, she's a mom, so she understood what we were going through. She said, yeah, you can come, move in, and you can stay with my kids. And we moved in with Maria. We stayed. She has 4 kids. So we stayed with her kids. She also had 3-bedroom apartment. So the kids have 1 room. She has 1 room, and all of us are sharing 1 room. I was living in the closet. Well, my closet right now is bigger than the closet that I was living in. So the closet is not a walk-in closet. It's one of those closets that you walk in. Your stuff is already right there. So when I was sleeping in the closet, half of my body was in the closet. The other half is outside of the door. So I couldn't even really close the door because the closet was too small. And so we stayed with Maria. And so pretty much that's where we were. And I decided to go to college at George Mason University. You already know when you're in Falls Church, from Falls Church to George Mason University is about 25 minutes to 30-minute drive. For the most part, people that live in Falls Church, when they go to George Mason University, they don't live on campus. They actually drive because it's a commuter school. For me, I had to be strategic the way I do things, right? RBA. So now it's time for me to go to college. What do I do now? There isn't enough space at Maria's house, and my younger brother is also staying with her. And so my thinking was, if I go to college and live on campus, that would free up space for my younger brother to stay with Maria. So I decided to go on campus and stay on campus strategically. So over the summer, I will come and stay with Maria. So she only had to deal with me over the summer or whenever there is like winter break or summer break, those type of things. For the rest of the other time, my younger brother would stay there, and she would help me, help my younger brother providing food, all those things. And luckily, she wasn't asking for any rent. So we were just living there, even though the situation was very tight, but at least we had food to eat, and we weren't being forced to pay any type of rent. Because when I was going to college, I was working, but I wasn't making that much money. And so that's how life was. When I was in college, the whole time I also had to do some strategic moves. I remember that I decided to become a resident advisor for the same reasons. Resident advisors are people that basically look after students that live on campus. And the reason why I became a resident advisor is so that the school can help me pay for my room and board. And so at least over the summer or over the winter, I have the choice to either go back to Maria or stay on campus. Most of the time, the way the RA thing works is that on the holiday season, you would alternate the people that stay on campus. So for winter break, if I stay on campus, then the other students will stay on campus. The other RAs will stay on campus. For me, because I wanted to create time for my space for my younger brother, I would volunteer for all the shifts. So winter break, summer break, all of those things, I'll volunteer to stay. And my friends or coworkers or whatever, they thought that I was just being nice. But for me, the way I was looking at it was a survival mechanism, RBA. Now I'm creating a little bit of space for my brother to be comfortable while I'm on campus, pretty much, living there for free and making about $75 every 2 weeks. So this is pretty much a snippet of what my story is. It's RBA all the way.
Bro,
Wow.
RBA does not do it justice. I'm sorry. Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That was, my God.
That's incredible.
I'm going to take back what I said earlier. I used the word relentless, but I'm going to change that and say survivor, because that really reflects that explains everything I need to know about your game now. You were surviving, and you brought that wherever you went with you. By God, did you survive, bro? But let me ask you, when you were hooping with us, around what phase were you in around that time?
So when I was hooping with y'all, it depends on the year, right? If it's before 2011, which I believe is probably after 2011, which means that I was either in college or I had already graduated in college. So if I was in college, then I was in the phase where I was volunteering to stay on campus because I didn't have a place to stay other than Maria's house.
Okay.
But after graduating from college, I don't know if you know a gentleman named Karan. So Karan is an Indian brother. I don't know. I don't think he came around.
Is he the left-handed hooper?
Yeah, Karan, yeah. Him. So his parents were leaving to go to North Carolina. So I was staying with Maria at the time around when I was graduating in 2015. So he went and talked to one of my friends, Yesenia, and he asked her if she can ask me to come live with him. I said, okay, this is a good opportunity to actually come and live with Karan, and he and I can split the rent. So it's a 1-bedroom. It's almost like a studio apartment, 1-bedroom apartment with a living room. And so Karan and I were sharing that. I took the room and I paid a little bit more so that I can have the room because I had a girlfriend at the time. So when she comes to visit me, at least I have some privacy. And Karan was staying in the living room. So depending on the time when we met, I was either staying with Karan or I was still on campus.
Yeah, I think it had to have been between like 2012 and 2015 because I slowed down at the latter part of 2015 because my second was born in January of 2016. So by that point, I had started to slow down when coming out. So back at the point where we were heavily going out 3 times a week, then that would have been between 2012, 2015.
Yeah. Okay. Then in that case, I was in a survival mode where I was on campus, and even to come and hoop with y'all, one of my friends, either Karan or Haney, they would come and pick me up from campus because I didn't have no ride. I either take the bus to come meet them, or they will come and pick me up and come ball with y'all. If it's not over the summer, that's how they will do it. Ball with y'all, and then they'll drop me off.
Wow,
bro, that's so wild to me. Like how you just don't know what people are going through. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're all just hanging out. We think everything's good, and not knowing that like dude's literally in survival mode. It's crazy. I wish we would have known at the time. Like, not, hindsight's 2020.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, we're all just chilling, hooping, and not knowing that everything that you're going through or anybody could be going through. And my God, man, much respect to you, brother. Much respect.
I appreciate y'all, but it was probably intentional that way, right? Like my closest friends knew that. But
right.
Yeah. I didn't want to wear that in my, because it's survival. When you're surviving,
Absolutely.
you don't want to be reminded that, you're less than other people, and you don't want people to look at you that type of way. So when I come to the court, I get my bright smile, I'm just ready to play. And
so that is one thing I have to say about you. Like, I could never tell because your energy and your vibe was always like, smiling and happy and just kind of like joyful.
Yeah.
Not knowing like there's a whole nother like survival mode happening in the back end of this.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And my God, brother, you have definitely gone through hell and beyond, my friend. Like just coming from Sierra Leone to refugeeing, and like it's crazy, man. I can't even imagine. And our kids think they have it. The internet's not working. Oh my God.
I always, I have to catch myself because it's the same thing, right? Being a dad now, on seeing what the kids complain about. Oh, my internet is not working, or I don't have an iPad, or I don't want to sleep in my room because there's a monster in the room. And I'm like, okay. I was telling my wife, I said, you realize that I've never really had my own room. Like I've never had my own room. The only time that I've had my own room, now I have to share it with you because now we're married. So I'm going to die without having lived in my own room outside of college. And then you have my kids complaining about a monster under the bed. And I'm like, okay.
You have no idea what monsters
I wanted
are.
a monster to be under my bed, and I actually had a bed.
Right,
So
because
it's crazy to watch. So I have to catch myself.
Right, and you escaped real monsters, right? You left a country
Right.
with real monsters. Like
Exactly.
that's just unreal to me. Like, did you actually witness those things happening? Like,
Yeah, so absolutely. Like, yeah, I was very young. Like, this is under the age of 12. But at that time, like you hearing gunshots and everything like that. You know, people are getting killed. A lot of like the raping that was happening with women being killed in front of their kids, dads getting taken and forced to join the movement, or all of those things, kids being abducted. Like I didn't see those graphic details, but these are some of the stories that, you know, my family, my parents, and now that I'm older, I can go back and do research. All of it came together. So yes, I experienced some of it.
wow. And is your whole family here now with you, or is anyone?
Yeah, so my 3 other brothers are still back home.
Okay.
If we want to, we could bring them here anytime.
Okay.
Now that all the brothers that are here now, they're all citizen, U.S. citizen, including myself. My mom was here with us. She actually lived in Fredericksburg. She just went back to my country. She's currently there. I was just speaking with her today. I asked her if she wanted to come back. She said not yet. So yeah, my mom can file for them to come back, but now she's with them over there, so they're pretty happy. Or any of us can actually file for them to come back here, because we're all U.S. citizens now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No,
So,
that's a blessing. Sorry, Ken.
yeah, I was gonna say that. I mean, there's so much to like deep shit to dive into in that story. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about and ask a little bit more detail is because Hak and I are coaches, and we've started our coaching journey over the past couple of years. And like, I loved hearing the tie-in of like the fact that it was actually a coach, right, who is somebody who stepped in to be like an authority figure for you. And so what I wanted to ask was kind of like, what was that relationship like for that time that you were staying there? You know, was it like father figure like, or did he kind of treat you more like an adult? How did that work out?
Yeah. My coach and I, we had great relationship. Even when I was just an athlete for his teams, he was my track coach. I was doing hurdles, like the 55-meter hurdles, and he was my direct coach. And then also for football, he was my varsity football coach. And so we already had chemistry. And so when I was staying with him, he was more like a father figure. In the morning, you know how like when you're coaching for a high school team, for the most part, the coaches are also teaching at the school. Right. And so at least in Fairfax County, that's how they do it. And so when my coach goes to school in the morning, he basically takes me to school with him.
Right.
And then the crazy thing is that his older daughter became my teacher, my English teacher, my junior year. And so he would take me to school, and later on in the day, I would have his daughter as my teacher. So that's the last class I would have before going to practice. And so he was treating me like his son, and he was like a father figure. So the chemistry was already there, and he was and his wife is wonderful lady, man. Wonderful lady. We still like stay in touch to these days.
Man, that's what I wanted to say. Like, heroes don't wear capes, right? Heroes don't wear capes.
That's right. The real heroes don't. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you get experience any jealousy or issues with other teammates, given that you were closer to the coach?
Probably, but they definitely didn't. they didn't show it to me, because again, when we are doing the sports thing, they know that I bring intensity. It's the same intensity that you were describing. So even if they are thinking about any type of jealousy, they see my work ethic. They know that I'm not doing, my work ethic has nothing to do with me staying with my coach. When we're doing sprints, I'm still the fastest. When we were in the gym, I was still lifting just as competitive as anyone else. When we were doing the up and downs, I'm beating everybody. When we're doing heels, I'm the first one that goes on top of the hill. I'm the first one that comes to the bottom. So my work ethic was crazy. So even if you have some type of judgmental thing, they never voiced it out. But I'm pretty sure, because we're humans at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure people thought, there's some level of favoritism, but it's football practice. How do you favor a player? I mean, I was fasting when we were doing 2-a-day practices. So, and I still show up and do my 2 practices a day without eating it or drinking anything. So there was no favoritism. Just put in the hard work.
I love it. You shut them up with work ethic.
That's right. That's right. There's no excuse. They can't say, oh, Tijani this, Tijani that, because I'm beating you in all the activities that we're doing. So you can't really come to me and say anything
right
other than what we have.
Results speak, right? Results speak.
That's right.
So this is funny because, not funny, but this is actually comes back full circle because now this makes all the sense in the world to me. Because every time I remember we would play, right, we get intense. And anytime Tijani would lose, I could see like he would get upset. I could see him visibly get upset. Like he didn't like lash out, like upset, like yelling, screaming. But you could see like this bothered him. Like even taking a loss bothers this guy. Like that's how competitive he is. So now it makes sense as to like where that all comes from. So man,
and we were playing for fun.
Right, but I mean, I'm the same way, right? It really irritates me that even the one play I mess up and it costs it, like it really irritates me. Even if we win, how did I mess up, right? I'm the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like I know, like we share that immigrant, I guess, journey because I too came as an immigrant. Nowhere near as I guess tumultuous or traumatic. I would say like those images are nothing like that. I came in there in like 3rd grade with my parents. And like I guess not through like a refugee type way, but just coming to a new country, learning a new culture, figuring it out. It was let's just say that I'm very familiar to getting bullied and knowing what that feels like or tastes like. So now I'm very sensitive to that when I see that happening. So as a coach, I'm very mindful of that. Like we're not going to do that. But we are going to work hard because that's something we've had to do. We're all hard workers here, but my God, it's almost like looking in the mirror, like, oh, he's just like me. He gets upset just the way I do. Like that's how Ken and I bond so much, right? Because like when we lose a game, like we're not supposed to lose. Where did this happen? Like let's go correct this. And that's the same thing I saw in you, which really made it that much more fun to go up against you rather than even with you on the same team.
Yeah,
but
I mean the thing that I wanted to add is the fact that now both of y'all are doing coaching, which I haven't been into any of your practices, but just knowing you as individuals, both of y'all are great people. And the thing you need to know, or maybe you already know it, Hak being what you just mentioned, as coaches, just realize that you're more than just coaches to the students or your players. Sometimes you are their older brother. Sometimes you are their dad. And sometimes you are their mentors, and sometimes you are the teacher and the person they confine in. And so just know that you're wearing many different hats, even if the students are not communicating that to you, but that is what you represent to them. And so just knowing that should help you the way you approach them and the way you help them on the day in and day out, because I am one of those students. One of those students is me. And so the fact that they see you every time you always show up for them is changing their lives, and you have no idea. And I just wanted to emphasize that as you go into this coaching career. And I know you personally, and I know that you're great coaches, and I know you're also great individual human beings, and you are more than just coaches to these students.
No, you're too kind, man. I don't think the kids feel that way about me because the hard work I put them through. Ken's seen it. They've I may come off as a tyrant, but I do have the best at heart for you, and I want to teach you what hard work looks like. So tomorrow, when that hard work hits you in the face, you're ready for that. You're prepared for life, and not looking for a bailout.
Oh yeah. They may not see it now, but when they are on the table like we are right now, they look back and see all the things that you've put them through, and they can relate. They can connect that to real life situations. That's when they will start calling you and texting you and sending you those emails. Hey, coach, thank you for everything you've taught me. It's the same thing that I'm doing now. I try to stay in touch with the people that have changed my life, including my friends. They helped me a lot adjusting to the culture here in the U.S. And I remember, my friends in middle school, high school, they were the same people that would be like, hey, Tijani, that's not how you say that word. And that's not how you pronounce these things. Those are the people that helped me. And these are the people that were also giving me rides when I didn't have a car. They would pick me up from campus and come and ball with y'all and then take me back to campus. And so I remember all those things. And this is the reason why I stay with them. And people say, oh, you have friends from middle school? Yes. These people are not just friends. These are my family. They've contributed so much to my life. And the least I could do is stay in touch with them and become an uncle or some kind of a brother to their kids. And that's the reason why I still cherish these friendships that I've had since middle school.
Wow, Tijani, that is going to take a while to digest. Just the first half of this interview. I got so many questions. I'm sure Ken does too. Let's do a part 2 of this, because my God, everything you have discussed so far was, I feel like, just the tip of the iceberg. So let's actually wrap this episode up, and then we'll come back with a part 2 and talk about the second half of, now you're here, what you're doing, what's family like, and so forth. Sounds good?
It's an honor.
All right, brother. So again, thank you all for joining us. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember to go. I'm going to go to, you know what? While you're doing that, also go to the Google website, go to YouTube, type in how we're doing it. Click on that, subscribe to that channel. That is Tijani's podcast. Just a little bit of a sneak peek for our next episode. Then we'll get to that. So once again, thank you for joining us. And until next time, I Think RBA. Peace.
Peace.